head coach Alan Knight, and we'll open it up for questions for him along with TJ DeFalco and Kyle Easton.
Yeah, well, interesting start to our season. It seems like it's really late compared to most of the seasons I've been part of men's volleyball. But what a great way to start off Big West, and with an opponent like Northridge, because they had a great atmosphere up there at their place on Friday night. And I was really pleased with the crowd that showed up on a Sunday night for us here tonight. But more importantly, just two really good teams and forcing us to play at a high level, because that's a really physical team. That might be, the most physical team in the conference, and maybe in the nation. So they play a different style of volleyball, and they're good at what they do, and they force you into a lot of stressful situations with their physicality. But I thought our guys in this series, the Friday and Sunday game, got better and better with each set that we played, and that's something I'm really proud of.
Questions?
Yeah, Coach, it seemed like by the third set, mentally they were really worn down. I know sitting next to their bench, they were one of the better smack-talking teams, but by the end of it, they weren't even huddling for points. Just comment on how you wore them down tonight.
Well, when you're playing against physicality like that, I think it's important you got to get points in a lot of different ways, and it might not come in the form of aces or blocks or just one way. And I think that we did a good job of getting some points with our serving, but getting some points with our blocking and our defense, and then we were able to transition for some points. And that's something we pride ourselves on, being flexible to hopefully win in different ways. And I thought the guys did a good job of not being too concerned with a big swing by a couple of their guys who could really get on the ball physically and understand that, hey, a point's a point, we just got to win the next one. And I thought our guys did a good job of turning the page. As far as wearing them down, I was way more focused on what we were doing than what they were doing.
So I'll have to go to your pin hitters here, because ironically you're sitting in the middle since you're formerly middle blocker, so you've got the right side and outside. But Kyle started off super hot, 667 in the first and second, but cooled off a little bit. Obviously Northridge made the adjustment on you, but that allowed TJ to really heat up, who hit just barely over 100 in the first, and ends up finishing hitting on the evening. I believe it is, where are we at here number-wise? 458. Can you talk about the adjustments made and how you made the adjustment, and how TJ, how you came up and really heated up towards the end?
I mean, it all goes back on Josh, and he finds the hot hitter. I think it kind of falls on like the pass and the setter, and to get the points in the game. And I started off strong, and then we both all have the best offense in the nation, and that's what we use in our games.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of difficult. They had a good game plan coming out of in the first set. Whether it was to stop both of us at the same time or focus on our middles, I was just making some bad swings, and so I made sure that Josh kept doing the same thing he was doing. He kept dishing out the same balls, but then everything else remained the same.
Alan, how much does it change preparation and sort of the shape of the season to have the way the Big West schedule sets up, where you get a week where you're going to play a team twice? I think you and I talked about that with the MTSF schedule as something that you would like to have seen.
Yeah, well, you can look at it two ways. There's no doubt that the old schedule, where only a few teams like Hawaii or BYU that had that schedule because of the way we do a home and away, they're only preparing for one opponent every week all the way through the season. And I think that, and even I believe the MPSF went away from that this year, where they're playing at each place home and away. It is an advantage, there's no way about it, especially as the quality of all the teams has gotten better. It's difficult to plan for a team to play on a Thursday night and then turn around and have a day to prep for another really quality team that might play a much different style of volleyball on Saturday night. So I think what it does is it balances out, and everybody has that advantage. The flip side of it, though, is that it's difficult to beat a good team twice in the season, never mind to beat a good team back-to-back, because the question always is, what kind of adjustments are you going to make? Well, usually the team that's successful in the first one doesn't make a lot. The second one has a little bit of an advantage of trying to mix things up. But I like it, to be honest with you. It's something I'm pretty used to. The first couple of years I coached the national team in the World League schedule, we played back-to-back, and I really liked it. So we've been prepping for it all year. We've had a couple of non-conference series that were like this. We had Stanford and we had UCLA back-to-back, and I think the guys were in a pretty good rhythm for it this week. But I can't take a lot from it yet at the end of the season. You know, I think everyone will have an opportunity to assess it, but it certainly creates some excitement in the series.
You know, I think, you know, obviously you've started this year really hot, but I really feel like since the UCLA series, the team has kicked it up a level. Have you been doing anything different in practices, or do you see a difference in the way your team has been on the court?
Yeah, I think they're trying to get better regardless of their successes on the court, which is a really difficult thing to do. It's a really difficult thing to do as a coaching staff and a group of players to come in even after having success and come in with that desire to try to get 1 or 2% better. It's something that you want to talk about, and you want to believe your team's doing, but to actually do it week in and week out, day in and day out is very difficult to do. And this group has done a wonderful job of coming in prepared to get better each day of practice. I know it sounds very cliche, but I think they feel like there's still a lot left for us to improve both offensively and block and D.
A question for Kyle. The player that stood out to me from the other side is Arvis. He had a great start on Friday night and had a great start on tonight. Talk about playing against another opposite that has such a great hops, and also what adjustments did you make in match to neutralize him?
Yeah, I mean, he jumps very well, as you can see. I think we worked on our blocking schemes really well in practice, and I think that showed in the match really well. We can switch our block either way, and it still works out for the best of the game.
Coach, you've matched the best ever program start. Can you comment on what that milestone means and what the makeup of your team has allowed for that success?
Well, we've never talked about it until right now, so thank you. But in all reality, I mean, that's great. I'm really proud of what they've done. They're proud of what they've done. And those are, I mean, when you're matching records like that, you're in special waters, right? Those are some amazing teams that were able to put together some of those numbers. But in reality, it doesn't change anything. In fact, after he's even having this conversation right now, it'll give me some fire to come into the gym on Monday and talk about it. Doesn't mean anything as far as what we're trying to do right now. The guys could probably do a pretty good parody of what I would probably say on Monday anyway. But it really doesn't matter. I don't believe in it at all. I don't care that we're necessarily talking about it. I'm not talking about it. It has nothing to do with that. It just has to do with the workmanship type attitude that we have, that we're going to try to come in, and whether we, wherever that stuff falls, it falls. We're trying to get better and trying to be our best to come the end of the season.
I'm going to rephrase that question for Kyle. How hard is it to play when you know you are clearly the best team in the country, and sometimes on different nights you may not face the toughest of competition? What keeps you guys humble?
I mean, it's just focusing on us, and then I mean, it's hard to get 1% better, like Coach said, and every day in practice. But that's the best part about our team, is that we go in every day and we have to water the green spots and get 1% or 2% better every day.
Coach, I know that you're going to say that you focus on yourself, but can you give us a small preview of Mount Olive?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched any video, to be honest with you. There's no way with having the opening weekend of conference with Northridge back-to-back that I've had a lot of time. I do know that, you see the stats, and you see some of the guys that have gotten some national awards or killing the ball at a big number. And but I'll have plenty of time to do that before our practice tomorrow and have some good thoughts for the guys. But, no, I don't really have a whole lot other than we have a ton of respect for them. They've had some good matches. They're having a good season, and we respect everyone we're going to play. So.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.